Hey guys, it's Sami, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the, what's today's date? 15th of April, 2020, as we talk about everything that went down tonight on AEW Dynamite. And I'm just going to say it right off the bat, I didn't like this show at all. I didn't think Dynamite was any good other than the opening match between Lance Archer and Colt Cabana. That was a good match. Everything else, no, not good. I mean, Kip Sabian and Chuck Taylor, that wasn't bad. Not at all. That wasn't bad at all. Wasn't good. And the main event, I was bored the entire time. The entire time. Started off slow, and it never really just ramped up for me. I didn't like it at all, to be completely honest, as far as, what am I... the main event, yeah, whatever. Today's been crazy. Everybody knows what's going on with WWE, but this is not a WWE review. This is not a WWE stream. This is AEW Dynamite. Let's see, though, before we get into it, who we have here in the live chat. We do have Orange Cassidy, Henry Carvalho, Kristen McNutt, Wayne Montgomery, Sinclair Saturday, Nelson, Jason Dalton, Broken King Slender, Addie Dominguez, Stephen Love, Nick Johnson, Broken Dreams, Ashton Tyler, Derek Bocek, and so many more of you here to talk with me, to listen to me talk about AEW Dynamite, a show that I just did not like tonight. It was boring for the most part, but let's get into it. Tonight's show opened with a strong Jake Roberts promo. Roberts said the TNT must have had Archer in mind when they designed the TNT Championship. He said Archer turns heads when he walks into a room. He said Archer's 275 pounds of steel. He got a chip on his shoulder from being forced out of the country to make a living in Japan. He said Cabana is good, but not good enough. He said when Archer wins the TNT belt, they'll be one step closer to what they want. So we got Jericho and Shivani. We got Jericho and Shivani on commentary. I think that's going to be the commentary team going forward for all of these pre-taped shows. A very good Colt Cabana video package played. Colt said that he's a little over the top, a little silly sometimes, but he's dominated around the world for 15 years. Cabana said that he's not looking past Archer, and this was very strong promo video package for Colt Cabana. So this was a first round match in the TNT Championship Tournament, Lance Archer versus Colt Cabana. Again, like I stated, this was the match that I thought was the best for the night. Archer knocked down one of the wrestlers at ringside at the start of the match. Well, actually, before the match even started. And Jericho and Shivani were like, who was that? I don't even know who that was that got knocked out. I thought that was pretty funny. So he gets in the ring, and Archer went after Cabana with a forearm strike before the opening bell. Cabana fired back with chops. Archer cut Cabana off with power moves and began working him over. Archer hit a version of the Vader bomb for a near fall. Archer took a stroll around the ring before commercial break. After the break, Archer missed his second rope splash. Cabana came back with an elbow strike, a flying apple, and a splash of his own. Cabana hit a flip, flop, and fly. Archer countered with a pounce and a chokeslam. The finish then saw Cabana block a charge into the corner. Archer powered Cabana up into the corner and hit him with the blackout, pinning him, advancing to the second round of the TNT Championship Tournament. Excuse me. I thought this was a good match. These two guys worked really well together, and it wasn't just, yes, Lance Archer looked like a killer, but it wasn't just Lance Archer going out there and demolishing Colt Cabana. Colt got a lot of offense and looked good in defeat. Britt Baker then cut a promo from her dental office. This is kind of funny. She was basically saying, these are the rules of being a role model. She said, rule 1 of being a role model is always fight fair. She said Hikaru Shida didn't fight fair when she gave Baker a deviated septum last week. Baker said that she fought on last week, even without the usual support of her fans in the crowd. So then we got some videos from Ariel Helwani and Taz hyping up the Moxley-Hagar match. Taz broke down Hagar's head and arm choke and the different grips that he can use to apply it. I thought this was really cool. They also had footage from Bellator. Britt Baker took on Cassidy Golden. Baker hit a kick to the kneecap and a super kick early. Baker then basically curb stomped Golden mouth first on the bottom rope and picked up the victory. Not much to talk about here. She stared down Hikaru Shida at one point and jaw-jacked with others in the crowd. Ron Funches and Mike Goldberg gave their predictions for the main event match. Funches said Moxley. Goldberg said his buddy Jake Hager. Goldberg was a fountain of charisma and made sure to work in his catchphrases. We then got a promo, a little video package here for Double or Nothing on May 23rd. As we know, Double or Nothing is not taking place as scheduled from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It will be probably from one of these closed sets. We don't know exactly what's going on, what matches are going to take place other than the TNT Championship Finals. So then, the Inner Circle did a video, The Bubbly Bunch. And this is actually something that I stated that WWE should do. Let the wrestlers film stuff from their homes and then put it on the show. So Santana and Ortiz ran down the Young Bucks. Sami Guevara said he's not a fake Latino. And Hagar said he's going to beat the shit out of Moxley. But I liked when he's sitting there in his backyard with his kids. And he's like, I'm earmuffs, kids. They go, the earmuffs thing. He goes, I'm going to beat the shit out of Moxley. Jericho did some commentary, said, I'll talk to you guys again later. I got to go. My assistant's on the other line. And he yelled at his assistant, I'm out of toilet paper. Why have you got me more toilet paper? There are hits and misses here. But I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe didn't need to go as long as it did, but it was all right. Then we got Sami Guevara versus Suge D. Jericho kept calling him Suge Knight on commentary. Guevara used a waistlock takedown. They did a comedy dance spot. Suge hit a nice arm drag. Guevara cut Suge off with a kick and used a delayed vertical suplex for a 2. Guevara missed a charge into the corner and Suge made a comeback. Suge hit some chops and uppercut forearms. Guevara then answered with a running knee and hit his inverted GTS for the victory. Guevara then cut a promo afterwards. He said, Suge D, that was light work. He said in the first round of the TNT Championship Tournament, he's going to beat the shit out of Darby Allin, that face-painted weirdo. He said he can go right now if they wanted to. Guevara went after Suge D. After his promo, Allin ran down to make the save, and Guevara retaliated. We then got MMA referee and Bellator announcer Big John McCarthy making his prediction, as well as Excalibur. McCarthy picked Hagar. Excalibur picked Moxley. Basically, they would do all these deals where 2 people made a prediction. One was a Hagar prediction. One was a Moxley prediction. Then we got Kip Sabian taking on Chuck Taylor. Jericho put over Penelope Ford for jumping into the splits while wearing leather pants during the entrance. I thought that was funny. The match was solid, but it wasn't great. I'd say it was better than the main event, though. The match began with some chain wrestling. Sabin hit a springboard dropkick. The match spilled to the outside, and Taylor hit an X-Plex on the apron. Taylor missed a moonsault, and Sabin answered with a springboard dropkick for a 2. Sabin then hit a penalty kick for another near fall. Cassidy took the ref, and Sabin sent Taylor outside. Ford hit Taylor with kicks and forearm shots. Sabin sat Taylor on the top rope and teased a dragon suplex off the top, which would be profoundly stupid in an empty arena. Taylor then blocked and landed on his feet off of a moonsault attempt. Taylor used a Falcon Arrow and a sit-out powerbomb off of a pair of near falls. Taylor missed a double stomp. Sabin got a near fall and off of a drag. Let me rephrase that. Taylor missed a double stomp. Sabin got a near fall off of a draping suplex. Taylor then hit Soul Food for a near fall. Penelope Ford jumped up on the apron to distract Taylor. And what did Jericho say? He said Ford's distracting him with her, what do you say, lady regions or lady parts or something like that. And Taylor briefly got distracted. And then Kip Sabian And Penelope Ford kissed. Jericho said that's not a smart thing to do either. Orange Cassidy would then jump up on the apron, take his jacket off, and kind of try to distract Kip Sabian. It was all right. Jimmy Havoc then jumped out of the crowd and hit Orange Cassidy with a DDT on the floor. They really played up that Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian are really close friends. They actually lived together, according to commentary. The finish then saw Penelope Ford, while the referee was distracted, jump off the top and hit Taylor with a head scissors or a Hurricane Rana. Taylor was then rolled up by Kip Sabian and pinned for the victory. This match was okay. Would have been better with a crowd for all the different things that they did do. They did stuff that needed crowd reactions, like the Penelope Ford thing. That should have got boos from the crowd. The Orange Cassidy mocking her and trying to do the same thing. Should have got a big reaction from the crowd. Penelope Ford hitting that Hurricane Rana should have got this was a match that was built as far as somebody probably used to working with a crowd more than not. They did a lot of, all I'm trying to say is they did a lot of spots that were like crowd pander spots. We got more main event predictions. Actor Dan Sauter picked Moxley, and Ortiz and Guevara picked Hagar. Shawn Spears then had a match, defeating Justin Law. Law took two of the most awkward bumps off of a snapmare I think I've ever seen. Spears was wasn't taking Law seriously and gave him the opportunity to wrestle him at one point. Law used the position to score a quick 2 on Spears. Spears then hit some chops and the C4 to pick up the victory. Really quick squash match for Shawn Spears. Other than losing to Cody last week, Spears has looked pretty good in 2020, to be honest. We then learned of a number of things for next week's show. We will have the final 2 first-round matches for AEW's TNT title tournament. Sami Guevara will be taking on Darby Allin, as Dustin Rhodes will be taking on Kip Sabian. We also learned that Jimmy Havoc will go one-on-one with Orange Cassidy. Brody Lee will be in action, as well as one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega, will also be in action. No opponents were named for either Brody Lee or Kenny Omega. Bellator fighter Josh Thompson and Santana both made their picks, stating that Hagar will beat Moxley, and then moved in to the main event. Match was filmed from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Jim Ross was on commentary. This was one of his, I think, better commentary performances. He was all by himself. And I'm going to say right now, the match went too long. I felt like this match was as boring as Edge Orton from WrestleMania. Like, this match went, I want to say, over 30 minutes. Moxley got a single leg takedown early, and Hagar pulled guard. Hagar escaped. Moxley used a Fujiwara armbar to transition into a cross arm breaker attempt. Hagar powered out and hit a strike. Moxley tried an ankle pick. Hagar rolled through and tried for an ankle lock. Moxley reached to the ropes, and Hagar broke cleanly. Here's my thing. If this is empty arena, no holds barred, then why are there rope breaks? That doesn't make sense to me. This wasn't the first time, or only time, we saw rope breaks. So Moxley hit some chops, then used a wrist lock to transition to an STF attempt. Moxley went for a Kimura. Hagar escaped and hit some stomps in the corner. After a striking exchange, Moxley sent Hagar outside and hit a plancha. Moxley followed Hagar to the floor and locked on a cross arm breaker. Hagar escaped with strikes before the break. Hagar then threw Moxley into the barricade. Moxley raked Hagar's eyes and threw him over the barricade. JR then said, "There's no fans here. Why do we need a barricade?" I liked that. Moxley went and tried to use a gotch-style piledriver on the concrete, but Hagar reversed it, countered it, and hit a backdrop instead. They fought into the seats. Moxley locked in a figure 4 around the railing. Moxley gave up the hold and hit a series of chops. Hagar escaped a guillotine and dropped Moxley on the barricade as they continued to brawl through the building. Back at ringside, Hagar sent Moxley into the steps. Back in the ring, Hagar missed a Vader bomb. Moxley connected with a regal knee strike. After a double down, Hagar hit a gut-wrench powerbomb for a near fall. After another commercial break, the two traded clotheslines. Hagar blocked another gotch attempt and used an ankle lock. Moxley started yelling at him, "Break my fucking ankle! Break my ankle!" Moxley finally rolled through and cradled Hagar for a near fall. Moxley caught Hagar coming off the second with a DDT. He went for the cover, but Hagar rolled into his head and arm choke. Moxley reached the ropes and, had caused the rope break. I didn't like that. If it's no holds barred, no rules, why is there rope breaks? So Moxley rolled to the floor and Hagar followed him out and used a chair to attack Moxley's abdomen. Hagar wedged the chair between the middle and top turnbuckle. Moxley missed a charge and hit the chair face first. Hagar rolled them up but only got a near fall before the final commercial. Moxley then hit a double arm DDT, but used it to apply a guillotine. Hagar slipped out. They traded more strikes here, and Hagar hit a low blow, not a disqualification. Moxley then hit Hagar with a chair. Again, not a disqualification. Moxley then hit the paradigm shift on the chair and pinned Jake Hagar right there, center of the ring. I thought the match was boring. I didn't like the match one iota at all. No ifs, ands, or buts. Didn't think there was one good spot in this match. I thought for the entire time, I'm sitting here watching going, okay, when's this going to start? Oh, that's it? Okay. I feel like it never got out of first gear for me. They tried some things. Kudos for them fighting in the seats and all around on the concrete and everything. And those bumps on the concrete, those hurt. But I just felt like it never got out of, if it did get out of first gear, it was barely shifting into second of a 4-gear vehicle. You know what I mean? You're in first, you're starting to go into second, and then it's just over. Before you can even peak it up at third or something and really start ramping up. So, I didn't like this match. I didn't think the main event was that good. We'll see how it goes, but we do have a few text messages to read here. This person asked if I'm going to do a Twitch stream tonight. Most likely, good chance that I will. I'm probably going to be streaming some Uncharted. I am doing a full playthrough of the series because all the games were, given out for free through PS Plus recently. I've played them all before. It's my favorite series of all time. So I may be playing through some of Uncharted 1 tonight on Twitch. Also, this person asked, this is a WWE question. I'll go for it. It says, do you think any more, so I'm only going to read half this question. It says, do you think any more releases will be coming from WWE? I'm not going to read the second half because I'm not predicting who's going to be released. But yes, I do think there could be, I'm not saying for sure, but there could be more releases coming from WWE. As far as people that keep asking me, who do you think's next? Who do you think's going to be released next? Fucking shame on you for trying to predict who's getting fired next. No, I don't want to see anybody get fired, let alone try to predict who is next. And yeah, no, Kristen, no Jackbox. Not feeling it tonight. I started Uncharted. I've been wanting to play more of it, so I've realized, hey, why not play it on stream? We'll do another Jackbox coming up soon, but not tonight. So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight to talk about AEW Dynamite. We will be live again tomorrow night I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about in the Nick and Tip show. We'll get into some NXT probably. But with that, follow us on Instagram. Just search Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling UOTD. On Twitter @EW Unlimited. Follow me on Twitter @TimmyBuddy, and follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. So again, thank you guys for joining me here tonight to talk about AEW Dynamite. Have a good night, and we'll see you later.